That was some sensational stuff to watch from the fielder. A clever one that left no room for the batsman. Dot ball. Well fielded. And the batsman couldn't get away with it. No run again. Clever bowling by the bowler. The batsman has been deceived completely. Great effort from the fielding unit. They need to keep this momentum going forward. No need to run for it.
Maybe not as much power as he was hoping for. Pakistan moved to 14 for no loss after 2.4 overs. No, relatively untroubled. A couple of nice deliveries from Mohammad Shami aside. They've not really been
fresh outfield.
Here's Mohammad Shami into Imam again, who plays this ball slightly uppishly towards mid-wicket. There was some oohing and ahhing in the crowd because they thought it might have just carried it. Dropped comfortably short, but wasn't in control there, was Imam or Huck. Mohammad Shami, he's not getting trampled on here. He's not been super threatening, but just a little sly reminder every now and again. I'm here. I'm just here. You're not going to pull over me. I'm still here.
In comes another quick pace bowler.
Yeah, you're right. That first, it's just an embarrassment, really, isn't it? It's a bit like dropping sort of like ketchup on your shirt. You're still going to finish a meal, but it's a bit embarrassing. Here's a pitch. Imam flicks it, but only as far as mid-on. And there is no run. So 3 overs gone in this Pakistan innings. 14 for no loss is the score. Mohammad Shami has bowled 2 overs, 0 for 10. And Babar Azam's on 2 off 7. Imam on 6 off 11.
Well, that dot ball percentage is quite high again for Pakistan, isn't it? 13 dot balls in the first 3 overs, so 18 balls, 13 of them being dots. So that ability just to be able to rotate the strike is what they struggled in the first game against New Zealand. And yes, Shami and his serve was a bit all over the place. I'm going to discard that one. But being able to just find those gaps is really important for Pakistan.
Yeah, it's a slower outfield here as well in Dubai than we're used to, so you're going to have to run your runs. Harshit into Babar. Full, driven nicely, but not really timed perfectly by Babar. Mid-on picks it up. There is no run. And score remains 14 for no loss. Yeah, I think those dot balls are going to be getting a lot more attention than normal, particularly after the last game, where I think Pakistan faced 100 of their first 140 deliveries, was it? I know you wrote this down, Alex.
Yeah, it was 100 out of 141.
Goodness me. I mean, that's a pretty strong dot ball percentage, so...
I don't even know what percent that is, but it's high.
It's very high. It's very, very high is what it is. Here's Harshit into Babar, who again defends the ball back to the bowler. There is no run. Just looks like he's lining up the ball a little bit at the moment, Babar. He's the kind of player who likes to book time in.
Well, there are certain players that would do what Babar's doing, get behind the ball, and then go bang down the ground.
Yeah.
He'll just go, 1, none, 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 none,
See?
1. You want him just to go bang.
See, I wish people could have seen what you were doing there, Alex. So Alex was just miming forward defensive shots and then a big bang down the ground. Yeah. See, if he played that big release shot every couple of deliveries, I think people wouldn't mind the blocking so much. But let's see, still early. Harshit into Babar Azam, who flicks this ball nicely, and there's the boundary from Babar Azam. Found the gap at mid-wicket, slightly over-pitched from Harshit. Babar Azam all over it. And that's exactly what the Pakistan fans here wanted to see. 18 for no loss after 3.3 overs.
It's like he was listening to us, Atif, but it was a lovely shot from Babar Azam. Just off the stumps, probably angled in towards him, probably just outside the off stump. He shuffles across and flicks the ball into the leg side. And that's what I was talking about the other day, of trying to manipulate the field and trying to manipulate the ball to try and still rotate the strike.
Harshit into Babar Azam again. Bowls, and Babar's driven this beautifully, but picked out mid-off this time. He's timing the ball really nicely as Babar Azam, but this is all about managing a little bit of pressure for him. He was given so much stick over the past few days in Pakistan, and you know, most would say sort of justifiably so off the back of an innings that really did cost Pakistan the team. Certain ex-players on, there's a million different talk shows in Pakistan about cricket, as you know, so just calling for him to be dropped altogether, calling for him to retire, calling him to be moved on and things like that. It all sounds a little bit absurd, but
Who would play instead, though?
I mean, there's no point applying logic to it. It's just an emotional response to a big loss, but he's got a job to do to win them back. Here's Harshaddin, full, beautiful cover drive. Oh my goodness, that was exquisite. Just a glorious cover drive from Babar Azam. Slightly overpitched outside the off stump. Babar got down on one knee and just sent it traveling across this surface here at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium to the boundary for 4. Absolute world class.
Well, this has been the difference between today and the other day. Yes, New Zealand bowled incredibly tight. They kept the stumps in play. India have bowled either side of the wicket so far today. But Babar Azam couldn't keep those runs ticking over. And today, when the ball's been in his slot and his name's on it, he's hit it.
He's looking good. He's on 10 off 12. Pakistan 22 for no loss. Here's Harshit Rana again as Babar mistimes a ball into the covers. There is no run. So 4 overs bowled, 22 for no loss Pakistan. Babar on 10 off 13. Imam on 6 off 11. A little bit earlier, Pakistan won the toss, opted to bat first. Maybe a surprise to some people, but it's worth bearing in mind that India did struggle chasing a couple of days ago against Bangladesh. They did get there, of course, in the end by 6 wickets, but it did take him a good 46 overs to do so. Some centuries in that match. Interestingly, the centuries in that game as well, Alex, it wasn't like they weren't like 100 off 80 balls. Shubman Gill finished 101 not out of 129 balls. Tawheed Ridhoy got 100 off 118 balls, so they really had to sort of work for their tons in Dubai a couple of days ago. It's the kind of pace there in those scores that I just listed to you, but I think lean closer into Pakistan's wheelhouse. And the 350s, I know they chased 350 a week and a half ago, but it always feels like a taller order for the Pakistan team in ODI cricket. Here is Mohammad Shami. It got a little bit more bounce off that wobble one, so that's the whole thing, right? Like, you never know how much it's going to bounce. That's the edge.
You don't know which way. You don't know which way it's going to nip back, could nip back or away. Shami
into Imam ul Haq, who cuts this ball nicely, but picks out the fielder at backward point. There is no run. I remember doing a piece with Benny Howell during our coverage of the 100 last year, and he showed me all of his variations, including the wobble ball, and
how many does he think he's got? 140? Is that
well, he does have a lot. He showed me like 5 or 6 of them.
Okay.
So, and it was good fun for me. I really enjoyed that. I absolutely nailed the square cut of Benny Howell.
He's got 57 variations. Is that the right word? Winces and goes, I need somebody out here, which could be a huge blow for India.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was a wince, not quite a grimace. It was in grimace territory, but I think it stayed in wince lane, I would say.
Interesting, pointed at the front of his shin.
Oh, yeah, he's getting a good old push on his shin, as you say, and the bony bit as well.
A little bit. It hurts so much, that.
Yeah,